Hello Cosmic Dragon friends, and welcome to this Pick a Cat reading. So yes, there will be cards, of course, there always are. Welcome to the channel if you're new, welcome back if you're not. So we're actually going to be getting a message from cats, from cat spirit, from cat energy. And as you know, if you own a cat, love cats, spend time with cats, cats have a huge amount of wisdom within them. And I thought it'd be really lovely just to get a very beautiful message of love, wisdom and support from them today. See what they've got to say. Now, I don't actually have a cat oracle as such. So what I've done is I've taken 14 packs of cards of my other cards, and I have removed all of the cards that have cats on them. So we've got a magical little mix-up cat deck here. So just like cats, when they have kittens, very often they don't actually look alike, do they? So I thought that was quite a fun thing to do. And I also recently created this little cat oracle of my own, which I've written, which Bedford inspired me to make. Bedford's my cat. You will see him occasionally. I'm not discreet about liking cats. So, very exciting. Take a moment, pick the cat that you are drawn to, and then there'll be timestamps in the description below. You can watch more than one if you are drawn to do so. So, pile one will be, or cat one, is our tabby cat. Cat 2 is our calico cat, cat 3 is our ginger tabby, and cat 4 is our grey and white cat. He looks a bit like a tuxedo, I think. So take a moment, see which cat appeals to you, and I will see you in your cat reading. So hello cat number 1, you've chosen the tabby cat who's here to guide you today. So we're going to pop our little cat over to one side here, and let's take a look at your messages here. So which cats are going to guide and inspire us today? So I've got a mixture actually of cat gods, cat goddesses, got big cats in there as well. Let's see what we've got here. So we have law of attraction. We've got our little lynx, little, is that a cougar at the front there? Stress management with the lovely jaguar, looks a lot like Bedford. Curiosity, okay, right off the bat I'm feeling pile 1, cat 1, I'm feeling like it may be time for a bit of a change, like change is very much overdue. It feels like things, I mean, with stress management coming through with guardian angel energy as well, it does seem like your team, your spirit team, your guides, your angels, even your pets may be concerned that you've just got too much stress on at the moment. You know, if you do own a cat, they may be trying to calm you down. You know, maybe you refer to them as like your emotional support animal, like many of us do. Cats are very supportive, you know, their purr is very relaxing for us. And it feels like you really want to manifest something different, but something you're curious about. I want to link these two cards together. I want to sort of put like a little gold thread between them. It feels like you may be actually trying to manifest, trying to change your life in quite a big way, I want to say. It feels like something quite big needs to change for you. It doesn't have to, because of course this is a group reading, so these are just suggestions. You know, your life is your own and you get to make your own decisions because you're a grown-up, as long as you are a grown-up. Yeah, very interesting, but I'm very drawn to say, if you haven't done that, if you haven't thought about it, it may be time to really think about starting a new direction, starting something new, trying something new. Maybe the trying something new is working with the law of attraction. Maybe that's something you've never done and something you've been very, very interested in doing, or have kind of done a bit, but you're not sure, you know. Maybe you're thinking, well, you know, I'd like to try that, or I'm not sure if it worked when I did try. And I will tell you, you know, it does always work as much as it can energetically. So if you need any more information about the law of attraction, I do always link below my book on the law of attraction, which is called Dream Bigger, How the Law of Attraction Really Works, which is dedicated to my cat, Evie, my last cat who sadly passed away. Yeah, but I really want to say that there's a real need for change here, because it does feel like you need a break, you need a rest, even if it's just taking a holiday. It may just be a vacation that's on the cards, because we've got this lovely parrot and she's got a beautiful flower in her hair, this angel. And a jaguar speaks to me of, you know, South America, perhaps. You know, maybe it is time for you to take a break, so go somewhere warm, go somewhere different, you know, go somewhere exciting. You may even be drawn on some sort of spiritual journey, I feel, with the jaguar. Very, very spiritual cat to be coming through here. Maybe it's your spiritual curiosity that's been piqued at the moment. Maybe you want to go on a retreat, you know, some sort of spiritual retreat in South America, perhaps. You know, or maybe you just want to study with a teacher who can teach you more about your own spirituality. But it really feels like you need a breath of fresh air, a bit of a change of direction right now, just so that you can keep going. And sometimes a change is as good as a rest. You know, we don't always need to take time out. Sometimes we just need to get rid of some of the stress so that we can feel okay, so that we can carry on, you know. So let's see what else these little cats have to say to us. What have we got here? Okay. We have teamwork, that's nice. The Ace of Winter, that lovely little white tiger cub. And Sekhmet, be strong. Yes, oh, that's beautiful. Sekhmet is the gorgeous lioness-headed goddess from ancient Egypt. Very powerful influence to come through. She is a goddess I work with myself. I do have a personal connection with her. Wow, yeah, it really feels like your spirit team, and who I mean by that is your spirit guides, your family on the other side, who, you know, your loved ones on the other side who help you, your angels, you know, any other elementals you work with, you know, and then anyone on the other side that you work with, basically. It feels like they really want to work together with you, and they want to say, yes, we understand that things aren't perfect at the moment, you know, or you may be starting out, maybe things are difficult, maybe you're trying to change path, and it's just every obstacle imaginable is being thrown in your way right now. There's a very strong message that we can do this together, and you're not alone. And I feel as well it may be necessary for you to actually seek out other people to help you and support you in your endeavours, in the things that you actually want. Go looking for your tribe. They're out there, they're waiting to work with you, even if they don't look exactly like you. Because look, here we've got a cat and a unicorn working together. Okay, it doesn't necessarily have to be the type of person you normally hang out with. Could be somebody very, very different, maybe on the other side of the world, who can help you, who can support you. But there are some very important connections coming. This could be somebody in a foreign country, I want to say, because there's like a wall between these two people. It's like these two energies, the cat and the unicorn. It's almost like there's literally a boundary between them, so they could be in another county, another state, another country even. So very, very interesting to see who's going to be stepping in to help you. And I would say when these people reach out to help you, let them, you know, the cat's reaching out his paw to, you know, to touch the unicorn. Reach out for help if you need it. And when other people reach out, I would say accept their help as well, because it feels like you could really use it at the moment, and you deserve it as well. Even if things aren't going just how you want them at the moment, because the Ace of Winter, excuse me, Ace of Winter, not Winder. Winder, that's not a word, okay. Yeah, I mean, it is about new beginnings, but new beginnings can be hard. They're not always easy, and everything's frozen in this picture, and it's very hard to begin anything in winter. So metaphorically, you might be literally fighting against the elements. Energetically, things may be against you. It may not be smooth sailing at the moment. Things may be really very, very challenging indeed. But Sekhmet comes through to remind you that you absolutely have the strength to get through this. Very, very powerful goddess. Call on her when you need help. You know, call her in. Ask for her help. Ask for her assistance. Ask for her guidance. She may actually show up in your meditation as well. Very often she shows up to me in the form of an actual lioness. So the lion symbolism comes into my meditation when she has a message for me. So let's see what other cards want to come out, what other cats we have. So we have the Desert Prince, Survival and False Promises on 1910-1, and this beautiful lioness behind him. So again, Sekhmet came in. Oh look, we've got a pyramid. I feel really strongly that Sekhmet wants to work with you. Cat pile 1 because yeah, pyramid, lioness, I mean, it's all there. It's very much there, but it comes through on a very transformative 1910-1. So I feel it is very much a time of reassessing what's going on in your life right now. If you haven't reassessed it, it might be the moment to do it. It might be the moment to sit down, look at, you know, make a list of things that you do, that you want to do, that you can't do, you haven't done yet, that you want to get rid of, that, you know, people in your life that maybe you don't want to spend time with anymore, that you don't want to associate with, or that you do want to spend more time with. You know, make some lists. get really clear on the picture. I want to say get some clarity as to what's happening right now. Who are your friends? With the false promises card, very often it's a case of looking at who your friends are, because there may be some people around you, and you often find this, who actually aren't friends at all. They may be hangers-on. There may be people who are just there spectating. They don't actually help you at all. You know, they might seem quite neutral as a friend, but they never actually step in to help you when you need help, and they're always there to laugh at you when you fall down, you know, or to kick you when you're down, or criticize you and say, oh, well, I'm only saying this because I'm your friend. I care about you. That's why I'm being really horrible and destroying your self-confidence. You know, that kind of frenemy type friend that you really don't need around you. And I've had so many of those people in my life who, you know, before I did my own healing work, I ended up surrounded by people who just continued the same paradigm for me. So they would continue to knock me down whilst pretending to my face to be my friend, but what they were actually doing was extremely toxic. So it could be some very, very toxic people in your life, and you may need to have a look at that. But certainly I get a very strong feeling, very strong connection with ancient Egypt then here for you. So there could be a past life there for you. There could just be a connection, you know, with Sirius. But I do want to say that Sekhmet absolutely wants to work with you. So you may want to, you know, meditate, ask her to come into your meditation, find ways to commune and connect with her, because there are, of course, many ways of doing that. So I'm going to bring in some tarot cards now from the Tarot for Cat people. This was my first ever tarot deck when I was 16 years old. So this one is a little bit old because I'm slightly older than that now. I'm 21, don't you know? That's a lie. Okay. Right, so we've got the King of Swords coming out already here. Let's just give these a bit of a mix up. I have an interesting way of shuffling. I have my own unique ways of doing it. That one wants to come out as well, doesn't it? What have we got here? Six of Pentacles reversed. Yeah. I want to say you don't have to be so independent all the time. And it could be that you just have the wrong friends, so you feel like you kind of have to do things on your own at the moment. You know, like, oh, well, I have these friends, but they're not exactly very helpful. So, you know, when I do ask for them for help, they're actually not very nice to me, and they're just mean about things. And, you know, I'd rather just do it on myself at that point, which I totally get, you know. Or it could be family who you think, oh, well, you know, I would ask my brother, sister, dad, mum for help with that, but actually they're kind of judgmental and they won't let me do it the way I want, you know. So it could be that you feel very, very alone, even in a crowd of people. And certainly this feeling of being incredibly independent. And I see how intelligent you are as well with the King of Swords coming through there. But it feels like with the Fool energy coming through, it may literally be time for something completely different, for stepping into the unknown. Obviously not going unprepared. And I think this is where I want to say it's important to find the right people to help you, because the Fool energy, I mean, in this particular deck, we've got a little cat biting him, trying to warn him that he's about to step off into the abyss or into into something that he can't see what's there. So I do want to say take the right team with you, the ones that will warn you of the pitfalls, the people who will guide you. Maybe somebody who's been there, done that. Maybe it's time to find you know, a spiritual teacher or somebody to help you to learn whatever it is that you want to know about, or whatever direction you want to go in, somebody who can help to guide you, a mentor perhaps. Wonderful to have a mentor or a coach. That's actually a brilliant thing to do. And I feel with the Six of Pentacles reversed, I feel like it's time to put yourself first. Because this lady in this deck, she's here feeding these poor little street cats, these poor little alley cats who are starving, and she takes care of them, she tends to them, and she looks after them, and she dedicates her whole life to it. But I feel like maybe you give too much of yourself to other people, particularly people who don't deserve your energy or don't deserve the amount that you give them. You know, you could say that everyone deserves something, but it could be that you're over-giving to certain people who just don't return the favour, or they do it in manipulative ways that don't actually help you. So energetically, you do feel depleted. You know, there is this underlying theme of stress that comes through here, maybe of people who are not loyal to you, of just having to get by. Maybe you do give too much to other people. You know, it's a very common theme for us empaths, isn't it? You know, we feel other people's pain, we care, so we want to take care of them. But I want to say put yourself first now, because it feels like it's really your moment now. You know, you have everything that you need. And the way that the king is looking in that direction, the way I read is past, present, future very often. So that direction is the past. So it looks like he's looking to the past. Yes, you already have all the knowledge you need. You've got this very, very wise black jaguar type cat here. Very spiritual cat coming through there. I feel like you've got the spiritual knowledge. I feel like you've done the karma. You've done the karmic lesson. You really have. And you've got these 3 carved cats in the background here as well. So I want to say with the number 3 coming through, that's the new blueprint. You know, in numerology, 3 is the blueprint, it's the idea, it's the new concept, it's the sacred blueprint, the DNA. And I want to say it is absolutely time for that new direction, that new project, that new idea, whatever it is that you want, those changes that you would like to make. And you absolutely have the experience to make them. Just make sure that you're not doing yourself out of the right sort of help by being a bit too independent, because some of you are. And remember, this is a group reading, so that's not necessarily for everybody. Don't be too independent. Let other people help you, but let the right people help you, and that's absolutely key. So what we're going to do next, we're going to get Bedford's Oracle, and this is the one he inspired me to write because he's a clever boy. Okay, let's see what we've got here. So this is basically cat advice to come through here. Cats are quite blunt with their advice. If you've ever done the animal communication, which I do to a point, you know, it's something that I've worked with. It's not like my main focus, but some animals are just really good communicators. And, you know, if you have these sorts of abilities, very often you end up doing it kind of without thinking about it. Fresh grass. Yeah, you do need some fresh grass. How about a new horizon? How about going outside? Sekhmet. Oh, I don't believe it. So I think Sekhmet wants to work with you. That's so cheeky. I swear these cards are so cheeky. You couldn't make this up. I love it. Absolutely love it. Yeah, strong connection with Sekhmet. Look at that. Look her up if you don't know who she is. If you do, I can hear some of you laughing and smiling. Milk. Oh, have a little treat. Get yourself a saucer of milk. Obviously, it doesn't have to be milk. I'm allergic to dairy. I don't have milk. Give yourself a little treat, okay? It's the end of a cycle now. You're about to start a new one with the Fool coming in here. So celebrate. I want to say take stock as well. With give yourself a bit of a reward for everything that you've been through, everything that you've achieved. Give yourself a pat on the back. Fresh grass. Yes, I really want that fresh start for you as well. Fresh grass can also talk about digestion and food, so I want you to make sure that you're taking care of yourself when it comes to your nutrition, you know, food, water, all the things that you're supposed to be having, getting all of your vitamins, minerals and sunlight. You know, grass grows outside normally. I mean, it can grow inside, but where do we find most of it? Well, it's out there, not in here. And Sekhmet coming through very, very strongly, that lion-headed goddess. Absolutely wanting to work more with you, and I will leave you to explore that because that's going to be your journey. So lastly, we're going to bring our little cat back in here. These are actually coasters. They're kind of ceramics. So I'm trying not to break them. And we're going to do some charms, which I'm going to put on our little cat here. Okay, see if we've got any other messages for cat 1. What have we got here? Oh, anything else? Here on the pool pottery tray. Right, we have a moon. This is a fairy on a 5-pointed star. So, I mean, the fairy on the 5-pointed star normally talks to me of spirituality, but also I want to say for you, wish upon a star. I want to say, what is it that you actually want? What do you want to wish for? What are you dreaming about? What do you want to manifest? Because you can do it, and I feel there is a lot of support for you right now to do that. We have this beautiful moon as well, and with the moon and star showing up together, I want to bring in astrology as well, because you may be drawn to study astrology, or it may be something that you do already. So there's cat hair all over my glove. Do already study. Maybe you're an astrologer, you know, watching this, amateur or professional. I feel there's a strong connection to astrology, so that might be something for you to bring front and centre, or give more importance in your life if that's important to you, if that's meaningful to you. I do also want to say moon cycles for some of you, you know, for your body, the moon cycles that we go through. We do go through a cycle with the moon, whether we're male or female. More obvious in females, but there is still a cycle there of our energy ebbing and flowing. So you have to remember that you can't be on all the time. You do have to ebb and flow with your energy cycles too. And we have this little feather here as well. Oh, wow. So That's an interesting one, because this always reminds me of Native American, because it looks like it's got a little binding at the top here. So this could be a connection to Native American mythology, or their stories, their teachings, their wisdom. That might be something you're interested in or personally connected to. Yeah, I just want to mention that one, because we do kind of have the South American shaman kind of energy coming in, with the jaguars coming in quite strongly here. So, I mean, it could be North American, South American, whatever resonates for you. And then we have this wheel here. I love this. So this is a ship's wheel, you know, and I want to say it's time for you to get back in charge. It's time for you to take the wheel again in your life, because it feels like you haven't entirely been in charge of your life for a while. There've been people manipulating you, pushing you this way, pushing you that way, or you've been censoring yourself to be nice or to get on with others, not having what you wanted, you know, trying to do what society expects of you. Oh, you have to make concessions for other people. Well, maybe you don't. Maybe you make too many concessions. Maybe it's time to stop making concessions and let other people make concessions for you. How about that then? So, wow. Okay, Cat 1. It's been wonderful to look at this energy for you. I hope that was helpful. I hope that was meaningful for you. You can, of course, watch another cat reading if you're drawn to more than one. Please do remember to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Leave this video a like. Leave a comment if there's something you'd like to share with us. Please remember to be respectful if you do that, because we're all human beings and cats. I will see you very soon. You take very, very good care of yourself. Bye-bye. Hello, Cat 2. You have chosen the Calico Cat. Fun fact, in England we call that a tortoiseshell. Okay, let's pop little Callie over there and let's take a look at our crazy cat oracle deck. See what we've got in here for you. See what messages come through for you today. Okay, oh, the cat, the cheetah, and Bast. Interesting. Okay, so we've got Egyptian goddess Bastet coming through. She was she's a fertility goddess. She embodies the divine feminine. You'd very often see her actually pictured holding a basket of kittens, because she is a symbol of fertility, but very strong, very kind of mother energy, mother goddess energy coming through there. So as well as that, we have the domestic cat. I'll just read this bit out. It's time to strike out on your own and relinquish your over-dependency on others. So that is about self-reliance and also boundaries and independence. Then we have the cheetah. Get clear on your intention, stay focused, and move quickly to achieve your goal. Now this is interesting because I'm seeing some similarities here with pile 1. So if you feel drawn to watch that one as well, please do so. But yes, it feels like it's time to stand up and be counted right now. And it's interesting, the Bastet card has independent written on it as well. So all the kitties independent. Helen, don't sing. Sorry, get carried away sometimes. But yes, it's absolutely about independency. It is about stepping up, being your own person, asserting yourself, how you want things to be, and taking responsibility for your life, which is ultimately where freedom comes from. It doesn't come from shouting at other people and saying, you have to do this for me, you have to do that for me, and you have to do this other thing for me, and I'm just going to sit here, you know, farm my nails or something. That's not how you become a grown-up. Maybe how the royal family acts, but believe me, they're not grown-ups. Okay, so let's see what else we've got. So we've got the theme of independence, striking out on your own as well. It's striking out on your own. So you may be a younger person watching this, or you may be somebody who just really wants to change the record somehow. Do something for yourself to... Yeah, and again, it's a very similar theme to pile 1 coming through here, but there are some differences. So let's see what else we've got here. Present power. Yeah, it's a very empowered energy. Strength. Oh, wow. And the Ace of Winter. Okay, Ace of Winter making its second appearance today. Yeah, there's definitely a parallel here with pile 1. Okay, it's almost like a sister reading. So present power and strength. Yeah, you absolutely have what it takes to declare your independence, I feel, and that may be what you have to do. It feels like there is some restriction around you at the moment, and things may not be going your way, and it's not necessarily anybody's fault, but I feel like there is this need now I want to say to be the tiger, because we've got this gorgeous big tiger on the strength card here that she's riding on top of. You know, wouldn't it be great to have a tiger to ride? That'd be fun. But on the Ace of Winter card here, we've got a baby tiger. That's a tiger cub. That's a little white tiger cub there. He's not very sure of himself. He's not very brave. His teeth aren't very big yet. He can't roar. And so it feels like maybe you feel you're not big enough on some level. Maybe it's, yeah, for some of you I feel it's going to be inner child work to do here. Like you're not grown up enough to do the things that you want to do, regardless of how old you are. There's a very young energy that comes through here, and that has no bearing on how old you are in, you know, in human years, none whatsoever, or cat years for that matter. But it's almost like maybe you don't feel on some level like you're allowed to do that, and I think it does come from, it comes from self-esteem, but I think there's some inner child work to do here. So maybe some wounding from childhood, or from a past life. Perhaps your confidence was very much undermined at another phase of your life, but you absolutely have the power to do it with the present power card coming in. And these two cards have a very similar energy. You know, you're very much in control. This one kind of embodies chariot energy a bit as well, because he's got these two big cats to deal with who are pointing in different directions, and he seems to have them both quite calm sat there. A lot of tiger energy coming through here as well. Lots of big cats coming through for you. Although we have got the little domestic cat as well. But it's almost like there's this kind of big cat plans that you have, but you feel like a little cat. You feel like a little domestic cat. Like, I'm just a little calico cat. How can I go and do these tiger plans? So, you know, your plans, your ideas, your desires might feel too big for you at the moment, but I just want to say they're not. You absolutely can achieve them. You have the strength to do it, but it will take some time, and I feel there is some healing to be done as well. I feel there could be a connection to the mother, or there could be a mother wound to heal, which could be connected to your own children. There may be some wounds there. Maybe there's some ancestral karma that you've been dealing with that's been handed down the generations of women in your life. You know, and again, it doesn't matter if you're male or female. Ancestral karma can go down a line. It doesn't matter. Yeah, it almost feels like you don't quite feel big enough for your dreams. Like your dreams are bigger than you are, and you look at them and go, oh, I'm not sure if I can do that. I'm a bit scared. But I feel like you can. There's so much strength and wisdom that comes through here for you. In fact, I think it's time for you to get going with that, because the cheetah brings in an element of speed. And I think when you do find the confidence to get going, I think it will go quite quickly for you. I think things will change quite quickly once you find that strength, to that bravery, perhaps that courage to actually move forwards in the direction that you want to go in, you know, with confidence, because you deserve this. You deserve positive change in your life. I'm just going to bring one more card in. Oh, we've got this one, haven't we? It's a little cat. Now, this is a little witch's cat, because this one's actually from the Wicca Oracle. So this is the familiar. All right, so we're bringing in literally the witch's familiar. Now, yes, the witch's familiar is a tiny little black cat, but do not underestimate the abilities of this black cat to manifest, to do magic, to make changes, and to be an incredible transformative energy in other people's lives. And I think that's you. I think you help other people to transform. I feel like you're one of these people who brings not just help, but you bring transformation to people's lives. You bring new ideas, perhaps new perspectives. Perhaps you accept them when other people have never accepted them before. You bring meaning to their lives. And there's certainly a cunning that comes through with this little cat here. He's clever. Look at him looking off to one side there. He knows things. He sees things other people don't. So I feel like there's a strong mystical energy with you. I feel there's a very psychic energy with you, cat too. It's very interesting, and I want to say don't underestimate yourself, and don't underestimate the power that you have within you, because you have great strength, even if you don't appear as a tiger, even if you just appear as a tiny little house cat. So next we're going to bring in a few cards from the Tarot of the Cat people. This was my first tarot deck when I was 16, so this one's been with me for a long time. We've been working together for a while, so let's see what she's got to say. So we have the Knight of Wands, the Queen of Wands. See how capable you are? And the Eight of Swords. Okay. So with these cards here, we've got the element of speed again coming in with the Knight of Wands, and he's riding a bobcat, and the bobcat in this deck is a very fast animal, so it does mean that you can go quickly, but you can go quickly safely because the bobcat can see in the dark. He has excellent eyesight, he has excellent instincts, and I feel it's your instincts that can really take you forward. Again, it's that very intuitive energy that I sense from you, Cat 2 here, but also very capable, and I think you're very charming as well. I want to say I think you're very good with people. You're a people person, or at least some of you are, because this is a group reading. But I think there is an ability to work with people, an ability to get things done, to motivate people. And I want to say with the Eight of Swords inverted, I want to say like your biggest obstacle right now is yourself. And yes, that is true for many of us, but I don't mean that in a derogatory way. I don't mean that to be unkind. I mean, I feel there are some unhelpful thought patterns in your mind, some unhelpful programming in your mind, because the conscious mind is just like a computer really that's holding you back, telling you can't do something when you can. So again, I feel it could be wounding from childhood or even from a past life that you've brought through. I want to say connected to the mother with Bast being there, Bastet being there. And I think you are the only person holding yourself back right now, but I think it's possibly out of fear, out of a lack of confidence, or, you know, thinking that you are only a tiny little cat and how can you possibly move all of these swords? Okay, but you're not a tiny cat. The cat sat on top of one going, woman, what are you doing? You are not trapped, I want to say. You actually can get out of this. But at the same time, I want to honour your wounding. You know, I do want to bring some respect there, and to let you know that there is nothing wrong with that. But it is an extra challenge sometimes that some of us have to work through. And that's kind of just how it goes. So absolutely nothing to be ashamed of. But I feel there may be some inner work to do to actually let go. And it's interesting, this card below says release harsh judgments. I want to say that release harsh judgments about yourself and forgiveness and compassion. I want to say forgiveness and compassion of self to you. I feel maybe you've had to be the one always forgiving everybody else, always being compassionate to everybody else, but where was the compassion for you? Where was the forgiveness for you? Where was the kindness for you? Okay, that's what I want to bring front and centre for you. So let's bring in some other oracle cards. This is Bedford's oracle that he helped me to create. So let's see what he's got to say. I feel like I need to go to the bottom. Fish tank, 14. Bedford, there he is. Which is familiar. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Okay, that's not the first time that's happened today. We had something similar happen for pile 1, kittens and season. All right, yeah. Yeah, very, very strong connection to childhood and children and the mother energy, because season, obviously when a cat comes into season, is when the females can actually mate and have kittens. And obviously kittens are their offspring. Very strong connection to Bastet, the Egyptian goddess, or Bast as it says on this card. I prefer to say Bastet. Yes, so there is a strong connection to children, childhood, the inner child here, possibly your own children if you have children, you know, or other children that you interact with, possibly. It could be nieces, nephews, you know, children of friends. There could be some connection there. There may be something that triggers you, that, and a trigger is just information at the end of the day. A trigger gives us information that we have something to work on, that there is something to look at there. And it's very interesting to me that we have Witch's Familiar. So that's basically the second Witch's Familiar, because that's also a Witch's Familiar card on 19. 1910-1, and this is 4610-1. So as you guys probably know, I'm a numerologist, so I do always mention the numbers here. This is 10-1 energy from both of them. Transformative number 10-1, about endings and new beginnings. So there is a great magical opportunity, I would say here, to bring great change into your life, to bring a beautiful kind of shifting of the wheel, I want to say, to take you in a new direction, a new, much more desired direction, a new, even happier direction. You know, you may be quite happy where you are now, but I feel like there's something maybe even better coming, or maybe some changes that you can make. It doesn't have to be huge, of course, but 10-1 is very transformative, so it could just be inner transformation as well. It could be inner change, coming into balance with fish tank. Okay, So the fish tank is temptation, obviously, for a cat, and it's a very alien world because fish live in water and cats hate water. Okay, so maybe you are feeling like a fish out of water right now. Maybe you feel like you don't quite fit in with the people around you, and that's okay. But the fish tank's also very beautiful, so I want to talk about bringing beauty into your life too. I feel like that could be something that's quite important. You know, you might be a Taurus, Libra, you know, sun, moon or rising. You may desire to have beautiful things around you as well. With the fish tank, I also want to go to luck and money. That comes in for me too. That comes in quite strongly, but it comes in on a very balancing number 14, energy 14-5. So I feel like money is something that if you don't already have balanced, I think you will do once you get going with, you know, on your next steps of your soul's journey. And Bedford coming in, of course he did. Of course he did. He's not actually here now. He's downstairs, I think, having his dinner, or he's got... No, he's on the roof. I can see him on the neighbour's shed. He is outside and he showed himself, which is wonderful. I'm just going to see if I can get a quick snapshot of him. No, of course I can't because he's a cat and he just ran off. Sorry. Not that it would make a very good picture. If you want to see pictures of Bedford, you can see it on my community tab, that he's all over it. Bedford, the world's most loving cat. He is the most gorgeous, loving, supportive cat I have ever met in my whole life. And somehow he got himself 36 on his card, 36-9, which is all about manifesting, which is all about creating the life that you want, really quite in a magical way. If he wants something, it shows up. And that's what I want to say for you. You can make positive change in your life. You're quite empowered to do so. You absolutely have the strength to do so. There may be some work to do, you know, on inner child or wounded inner child for you or with your actual family. But you've got this, and I feel there is no obstacle other than the inner healing that needs to be done. And don't beat yourself up, okay? We can only do things that we can do when we're ready to do them, when we have the information. We can only do the best that we can do. So I'm going to bring in some charms. We're going to put them on our little cat coaster here. These are actually coasters that my neighbour gave me because she knows I love cats. She looks after Bedford sometimes. He's not keen on her because he's a very funny cat. He only lets certain people stroke him and he won't let her touch him because he's a little bugger. Righty-ho. What have we got here? Now this is interesting. We've got some of the same ones as for pile 1, or cat 1, shall we say. So yeah, you might actually want to watch pile 1 or cat 1 as well. So we have, oops, this little fairy on a star. So this is kind of wish upon a star energy. What is it that you want right now? Ask the universe for it. And I think you can actually achieve your goals. You can bring great, beautiful change into your life right now. Then we have these hearts. Look, we've got 3 hearts. Okay, so it could be if you're not in a relationship, maybe you're looking at other people thinking, why don't I have a relationship? Why am I all on my own over here? I have a really big heart. I'm really loving. Why am I left out in the cold? There could be that theme going on for some of you. Or it's not necessarily to do with romantic relationships. It might be friendships. It might be in your family. Maybe you feel left out. Maybe you feel unloved. There's certainly I want to say, a feeling of not being loved or appreciated as much as you would like. And you are somebody with a very big heart. You are very loving and you do deserve that. And you absolutely can make changes in that respect if you need to. But I feel like this inner child healing has to happen first. Next we have this lovely little lizard here. He's absolutely gorgeous. He's a very spiritual one, I want to say. So we've got lizard or gecko coming in here, which is always interesting symbolism to see when they show up, because obviously they are reptiles. They do shed their skin, you know, they're very interesting, but they also have feet. They can climb walls. They're very adaptable. So this is very interesting, clever energy coming through. They've got, like, some of them have 360 vision, you know, with their eyes. But then we have this tail that goes into a spiral, and to me that talks of the journey inwards, the path of the labyrinth. So I feel with this sacred little lizard coming through, and this may be an animal that shows up on your path over the next couple of years or even the next couple of months, I feel, just to show you the way. But there's this beautiful journey home, I want to say, with the spiral, this journey inwards, home to self-love, or to greater levels of self-love. You know, you might have already done some of the inner child work, or, you know, it's an ongoing process. I'm not sure that we're ever 100% done with it. There's always more to do, isn't there? There's always another layer. I think I can hear Bedford beating the door downstairs, so he may yet make an appearance. Then next we have Interesting. Little and large. Yeah, so wow, this is talking to me a lot. So we've got this gorgeous ship's wheel coming through here, and we have the big one, then we have the little one. So to me, that's very representative of big me and little me. So adult self and child self, I want to talk about here as well. Big boat, little boat. Might be literally big boat, little boat for some of you, because this is a group reading, of course. But it does feel very much like perhaps if you weren't able to direct your life as a child, maybe you had very little control over the direction you were going in, and maybe you felt equally, you know, as an adult, maybe you felt you couldn't assert yourself, assert your independence, maybe you didn't feel able to do that or worthy to do that. But it is absolutely time to do that now, and I think by doing that, you will be bringing a lot of healing to yourself and to your inner child at the same time by showing them it's okay. Adult me is in charge now. We're safe. We can do what we want to do. And I want to say let the inner child lead sometimes as well. Ask your inner child what they want, what he or she wants. You know, sometimes it's fun to ask your inner child what they want if you're picking a cake, if you're at a cafe or something. Let them pick. You might be surprised with what you go with and how fun and healing that can actually be. So, I hope that was helpful to you, Cat 2. Please do remember to like this video if you enjoyed, to let me know. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Please do also leave a comment if there's something you would like to share with us all. Please do remember to be respectful if you do that, because we are all human beings. We should try and be nice to each other, and cats, of course, with Bedford showing up. You take very, very good care of yourself, and I will see you very soon. Bye-bye. Hello, cat number 3. You've chosen the ginger tabby cat for your reading. We're going to pop him over here. Right, okay. And I say him because ginger cats are normally male, although they're not always. My first cat was actually a ginger female. Okay, so let's take a look at our crazy cat deck and see what messages we have here for you. All right, we have the cheetah making its second appearance today. We have law of attraction also making its second appearance today. Be brave. Beautiful. Okay, and I just want to bring out another card already. Open your heart to love with Jesus. So Christ consciousness energy coming through here. Wow, that's beautiful. Oh my goodness. Okay, I get quite a sacred energy coming through for your reading, cat number 3. This is very sacred with the Christ consciousness, with the energy of Jesus and, you know, being very loving and open, telling you to open your heart. I mean, that may be a literal message for some people, because remember, this is a group reading, but this is beautiful. We got Christ consciousness energy coming through here with some very powerful big cats, with the cheetah, with this gorgeous black panther, black jaguar energy here as well. So this is very, very spiritual. And I kind of want to say for you, I feel like it's time for you to stand up for your spirituality. I do. I feel like and I want to talk about spirituality at first, but certainly it does feel like there's a life change needed. And I mean, that is a bit of a theme with pile 1 and 2 as well, but this feels different. This feels like a spiritual life change for you, but it may be something that's come in quite suddenly, because we've got the cheetah over here on the left hand side. I feel like something may have happened quite suddenly, or you may have just had an awakening, or a kundalini rising, you know, or some sort of experience, spiritually powerful spiritual experience that may have opened your eyes, may have opened your heart chakra. You know, you may have recently learned how to do Reiki. It may have been a real revelation. I mean, for me, doing my Reiki, you know, each attunement, each level was life-changing. It was big, you know. Doesn't have to be Reiki, of course, but it does feel like with the law of attraction card coming in. I put this one in here because we do have this gorgeous cougar at the front here on this card. It does feel like you're coming into a much more empowered energy. Spiritually, it may be that you finally feel like you can say, no, I know what my path is now. Or if you don't know yet, I think you will soon. I think your spiritual path has either been shown to you or it's about to be shown to you, but very clearly, or the next steps perhaps that you've been waiting for. And it comes in with so much speed with this gorgeous cheetah over here. And cheetahs are very, very loving cats. It's one of the few big cats that you can kind of domesticate. I don't recommend it, you know, unless you're an expert and you know what you're doing. But you shouldn't try and have them as a house cat, but they're very loving cats. So there's a huge amount of love coming in, but with great speed and great strength, because we've got all big cats here. We haven't, you know, we've got a lion on this one, the black jaguar here, the puma and the cheetah, all big cats. So this is big cat energy. So I feel we could have some spirit animals coming through for some people here as well. You may have one of these 4 cats actually as a spirit animal to work with. And we do have more than one spirit animal. You know, I work with many different energies. I'm an old soul. I've been around. I've got a few with me. You know, but there's certainly this energy of it's great deep spirituality. It's very devotional, very beautiful. Perhaps you want to move in a more loving direction in your life. Maybe you want to dedicate your work to your life to charity work, for example. Maybe you want to dedicate your life to a more spiritual path, to something a little bit different, to helping, to loving. It's such a deep spiritual energy for you. It's really beautiful. So let's see what else we've got here. Wow, it's so powerful. It's absolutely gorgeous. You know, you may not have ever done anything with your spirituality and may just be very interested in doing it. So that could be the nudge for you there. But I think once you get going, I think it might go quite fast for you, but in a nice way, because spirit will never move things faster than we can handle. They'll never do that to us. Cat spirit, claim your independence. Princess of Winter. Okay, that's interesting. Right, yes. This is interesting because at the bottom we've got indigo child or adult. So I do feel like you are a very spiritual soul. You're a very special soul that was put here for a powerful purpose. And it may be time for you to actually make that big change. You know, you might literally walk away from the corporate world and decide you want to be a shaman. It happens. You wouldn't be the first person to do that. You know, and that's absolutely okay. I'm not telling you to do that. It's your life. You do what you want to do with it. But there may be an impulse to do something like that at the moment. But it does feel like a change of direction is needed, which is definitely a theme in all of these readings today so far. I don't know about part 4. I haven't done it yet. But it's very, very interesting. And I feel like you would make a good counsellor if you're not already. You make a very good spiritual guide, spiritual teacher for other people. With great wisdom and also great kindness. I want to say you're a very unusual person in some ways. I want to say you're a bit rare, but I don't mean that in a disrespectful way, not as in, oh, you're a bit rare. But you're a rare person, a rare personality. Maybe you're an INFJ or something, you know, in the Myers-Briggs personalities or whatever, if you believe in that. I feel like you're an unusual person. You're quite a unique personality, and I kind of feel like the way society is set up just doesn't kind of work for you. You don't totally fit in it. I mean, who does right now of all of these souls coming through to usher in the age of Aquarius? There's so many of us here right now doing our work, bringing in more light, bringing balance to the world. And I certainly feel you are one of those souls. And I don't say light workers anymore. I refer to us as integration workers, because if you're only working with the light, you're missing half the picture. You have to integrate the shadow as well. It's about integrating both together, which is why we have the black and white on the yin-yang symbol. So, okay, yeah, very interesting. I'm going to just get one more. Lion spirit, be generous of spirit. Lots of very big cats here for you. I mean, we do have the little cat spirit here, but it's mostly big, powerful cats coming through for you here. So there's great spiritual strength. And I want to say a deep spiritual knowledge. Maybe there's a yearning to study spirituality. I feel there could also be a pull to Africa for you. There could be a pull to actually go to Africa specifically, with the lions coming through and the cheetah. I'm very drawn to them, very drawn indeed. That could be something for you to actually look into doing. Maybe there's some spiritual work for you to do down there. Maybe there's something for you to learn, some teacher for you to study with. Very drawn to the white lions of Timbavati as well, if you're not aware of them. I have a book I'll just quickly show you. So if you've not heard of them, The Mystery of the White Lions, this is actually a book by Linda Tucker, but she got a lot of information from Credo Mutwa. Very, very interesting. I think is he a shaman? He's absolutely incredible. He knows so much. But I'm very drawn. There's a picture of him, look, on the back there. I'm not sure if he's still with us. He was quite an elderly man. But I'm very drawn to those mysteries for you. And again, there is a connection, I think, with Sirius. Don't quote me, I could be wrong. But there's a very, very strong connection I feel coming through here. So there may be some information for you. Maybe that's something for you to study if you haven't already. If you've already studied it, great. You know, there's a very strong connection with that reading in that case. But I feel that there's something connected to that. There could be a Leo connection as well, because the lions just come through so strongly. The African cats come through very strongly for me here. So let's just have a look at the Tarot of the Cat, people. This was actually my first ever tarot deck. I got this when I was 16 for my birthday, because that's how I roll. And this was a while ago. That was in the 90s. You know, I'm not I'm no spring chicken. So right, let's take a look here. You know, this was before tarot cards were cool. They were hard to come by then. We didn't have Amazon. You couldn't just, you know, pick up your phone and order 10 packs of cards. It was difficult to get them. Oops, here we go. 7 of Swords. Oh, I love that one. Okay. 4 of Wands. 4 of Pentacles reversed. Okay. Yeah. Interesting with the 4s on either side. But I kind of want to say with this one, you see how magical you are in this deck. I mean, obviously this is the Tarot of the Cat, people. Some of the cards have slightly different meanings. It depends how you interpret them. I always interpret things my own way anyway, because I'm an intuitive reader and that's how I roll. But look at this gorgeous, this is a very mystical little creature here that she's holding here. I think in the book they call it a light cat or a little cosmic cat or something. I forget the words they used. But this is somebody who can wield the powers of the universe, somebody who understands the energies of the universe, who can commune with them, who can correspond, okay, communicate with spirit, maybe correspond, you know, it may be that automatic writing is something that you do. I'm also drawn to psychic art for you. That could be something that you do or would like to do. But you have great potential spiritually here. This is kind of a shaman card in this deck. It's a very interesting energy that comes through here. So again, I was saying you could be drawn to be a spiritual teacher or just to study with a spiritual teacher. But it does feel like that is a very important part of your path in this lifetime. So I do want to talk about that. 4 of Wands, yeah, it's kind of about taking a break, taking some time out. So maybe take some time out. But I also want to say meditate with this one. Look at these lazy cats lounging around. Cats are really such great teachers when it comes to learning how to rest. Maybe you need to actually schedule some rest into your everyday. Maybe you're the kind of person that needs to take a bit of a nap sometimes. Maybe you overdo it. Maybe you need to keep strange hours. You know, like me, I tend to stay up a bit late because I'm tuning into spirit and I'm a night owl, so getting up early can be difficult for me and sometimes I need to take a nap. There's also an artistic feel that comes through for you here. I said about psychic art, it could be music as well, because he does have this sort of harp typing instrument that he's sort of lazily plucking and enjoying. Maybe music is something that really helps you to wind down, that helps you to relax. Sometimes you can put your burdens down, it's okay. I feel as well, you know, you may be drawn to go into holistic therapy or alternative therapies, Reiki, massage, any number of other therapies, because there's so many of them, I couldn't possibly name them all. Maybe to help other people relax as well. Maybe that's something that you're drawn to. You want to go into that alternative healing field. I think you would be extremely well suited to that, as long as you make sure you're taking care of yourself as well, not just giving everything to everybody else all the time. So with the 4 of Pentacles reversed here, I mean, she is somebody literally clinging onto her coins here that she doesn't want to share. Maybe she's a bit miserly. Maybe she just doesn't have enough money. With it reversed here, yeah, there certainly could be some issues to do with money there. Maybe money has been an issue. Maybe that's what's held you back in the past. But I feel like there are spiritual solutions to all of your problems here. Maybe there's a scholarship available to you. Maybe there is you know, some sort of position where you don't have to pay to train or to move forwards, you know. Particularly, I mean, the spiritualist churches are wonderful if you have those near to you. There are lots of them in the UK. I'm pretty sure they exist in America as well. So spiritualist churches are somewhere that you can go to receive healing, to learn spiritual healing, to learn mediumship, to learn psychic development, meditation. And it's all very, very low cost because they're churches, they're charities. So sometimes it is actually by donation. So that could be something that resonates for you if money is an option, you know, isn't an option, if it's something that really gets in the way if money is an issue for you. I want to say there could be some problems to do with money, and maybe that's something for you to clear as well. Maybe you're not able to move forwards with your plans because there are these financial issues, or perhaps there were financial issues, because we've got it slightly to the left, which tends to be more in the past for my readings. So it could be that has held you back, but it doesn't have to. Maybe you can learn to actually manifest more money, because we do have this law of attraction card here. And if you would like to know more about the law of attraction, you can get a copy of my book, which is linked in the description below, which is Dream Bigger: How the Law of Attraction Really Works. So let's bring in Bedford's Cat Oracle. Let's take a look at some wisdom directly from cats. So, right. These can be a little bit blunt sometimes, so you have to be careful how you read them, I think. Because cats are blunt. If you've ever done the animal communication, they are really very straightforward when they talk to you. They won't beat around the bush. They will tell you exactly what they think. Fleas. Okay. Chasing your tail. And Valerian. Okay. I actually want to put the Valerian over here with the Four of Wands, because that's kind of where it belongs. Yeah. And Valerian is one of those herbs that cats really like, one of those plants that cats really like, very much like catnip. And Valerian, if you fill a toy with Valerian like you might do with catnip, it will make them very excited and they'll enjoy it. But it doesn't seem to have the after effect that catnip can have, because some cats react quite badly to it. It leaves them really almost a bit hungover afterwards, and Valerian doesn't seem to do that. It seems to be much gentler on their system. That's just my observation. So I feel like it could be time for you to actually chill out, but find a way to do that that doesn't leave the hangover. So maybe that's a message about not drinking alcohol or not using recreational drugs, maybe going for something a bit gentler. So that might be a consideration for you. Remember, this is a group reading, so, you know, take what applies to you and leave the bits that don't. Fleas. What is irritating you? What is getting your goat? What is really, really irritating right now? Looks like there's something to look at. It may be time to have a bit of a spring clean to get rid of some irritations. Those irritations could be to do with money as well. Maybe there's something to sort out. Maybe there are some payments that you never intended to make. Maybe there's some money that you're owed that's just niggling away at you, really, really annoying. Maybe there's some annoying people around you that need to be removed from your life. But it does require your mind, because we come in on 32.5 here. But I think you will find a way to find that balance. The vet. Is it time to have a look at your health? Again, that's interesting, because I do feel for you that there is this connection with alternative health. So it might be that you need to go to the doctor. It might be that you've been to the doctor and they couldn't help. Maybe it's time to investigate possibly looking at alternative help, maybe some sort of alternative practitioner, which is, you know, of course, I don't give medical advice. This is not medical advice in the slightest. That's for you to look into. That's for you to investigate for yourself, because you know yourself best. But there's certainly, there could be some physical issues to look at there. So there's just a little heads up for some of you. And chasing your tail, yes, you may be literally going around in circles. I want to say that might be because you need a break, because you need a bit of a rest right now. And I think you can change that, but it does need this big pattern change, this big spiritual pattern change to actually happen. So it could be in your life at the moment you actually feel like you're literally running around in circles chasing your tail and there's no way out, because it comes in on devil energy on number 15, 15-6. You know, and when you look at the devil card in a traditional tarot deck, not this one because it's not the same at all, a traditional tarot deck, you have a man and a woman who are stood in chains, but when you look closely you realise that actually the chains aren't done up particularly tightly and they could easily slip them off. So I want to say you can unhook the chains anytime you want. You can stop chasing your tail anytime you want. It can be fun sometimes to chase your tail. You know, cats do it for fun sometimes when they're kittens, or even when they're a bit older. I've seen Bedford do it, it's adorable. But usually it has a purpose. They're normally trying to catch their tail so they can wash it. If you have a cat or love cats, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about, how hilarious it is. And it seems to be a source of great irritation to them that the tail seems to have a mind of its own. So again, that could tie in with the fleas card. There could be something quite frustrating in your life right now that actually just needs resolving, so you don't have to deal with it anymore. And I'm going to suggest that it could be easier to get rid of this problem than you might think. So what we're going to do now is we're going to have a look at some charms. So I'm going to bring in your little cat coaster again, and we're going to put the charms on there. because these are coasters. In case you hadn't noticed, these are coasters. Okay, let's take a look. What messages do we have for pile 3? Or cat 3, shall we say. Oh, there's lots of wheels today. Okay, what have we got here? So we have unicorn. You are a unicorn. You are a bit special though, aren't you? You know, that's what I said. You are quite special. I do want to say that. You are quite unique, quite different to other people here. What else have we got? We've got a lovely dragon here as well. So there could be a connection to unicorns or dragons specifically for you. That might resonate. Obviously, dragons resonate for me. This is Cosmic Dragon Tarot. The dragon energy. Wow, that's powerful. That's fiery, fiery grr energy. It's fire, it's creation, it's destruction, it's Plutonian. Very interesting, very mystical with this unicorn coming through. Strong connection to elementals for you if you wanted to work with them. Unicorns may be quite special to you as well. Maybe something you're drawn to work with. Dragons coming through. Dragons are very helpful for healing, I will say. Very transformative energy from dragons. This one can actually stand up, that one like that. There could be a connection to whales as well for you with the dragon there. Then we have this gorgeous tree of life. So yes, and the branches all reaching out. And I do want to say about wellness for you with the tree of life showing up. I want to talk about wellness. So whether it's your own health or whether you're interested in going into wellness in some way, shape or form, I feel that's a strong message there for you. We have a bicycle, so there is movement and some element of speed there as well. Bicycles can go very fast downhill in particular, you know, when we're going down a hill or the wind's behind us. And with the cheetah, we do have this element of speed that's possible. And I want to say, get on your bike. Maybe literally getting on your bike or your exercise bike, or that's something you might be interested in. Then we have these 2 hearts here. This is gorgeous, actually. So this could actually be connected to a soulmate connection or a twin flame connection. Actually, involved in your own spirituality, involved in your spiritual path. Very often we do find soulmates when we are on our spiritual path, when we are researching, when we are delving into that. We do find soul family members, and sometimes they're soulmates and sometimes we're not available when they show up, so that can be complicated. Also, we've got 2 ship's wheels. Now this is curious because the ship's wheels have come out for 1 and 2 so far, and it's not the first time I've seen 2 of them today either. These are both similar size though, but it is very much time for you to take the wheel. I want to say, because there's 2, you're taking the wheel in your life, but I also feel like I want to say Jesus take the wheel. I don't mean that in a religious sense because I'm not religious in the slightest, but I want to say like the divine helping you, helping to steer. So you've got a co-pilot, you've got spirit, you've got your spirit guides, you've got God, Goddess, angels as your co-pilots here as well. So it is very much about taking charge of your life, taking the wheel, but being spiritually guided with it is what I want to say there for you. So I hope that was helpful for you, Cat 3. Please do remember to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Please leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it so that I know. Please do also leave a comment if there's something you would like to share with us. Please do remember to be respectful if you're going to do that, because we are all human beings, so we should try and be nice to each other. I will see you very soon. You take very, very good care of yourself. Bye-bye. So, hello cat number 4, welcome to your reading. You have picked the grey and white tuxedo cat. We will pop him over here. Not tax, cats don't pay taxes. Why should they? Okay, let's take a look at our crazy cat deck. We've got one coming out already. It's the cat spirit, of course it is. Coming in on a very transformative number 13 about change, ends and beginnings. So, what else do we have here? Open your heart to love. Interesting. Sekhmet, be strong. Okay. All right. So we've got Sekhmet coming out for the 2nd time today. You may be drawn to watch pile number 2 as well, because Sekhmet featured quite strongly in that one. If that resonates, you can of course watch that one or any of the other ones that resonate for you. Okay. So I want to talk about spiritual independence and change here, but there is a theme of change in all of the readings today in some way, shape or form for everybody. Obviously it's different for everyone because we are all different. These are all group readings, you know, and I always say take the elements that make sense for you, the ones that resonate, leave the ones that don't, because they make, you know, certain elements may not be a message for you. But this is about change. It's about endings and beginnings specifically, I want to say, for you, cat number 4. It is about boundaries as well. Boundaries and independence, strength, but with great spiritual love as well. So I feel like you may be facing some opposition in your life at the moment. Maybe it is time to actually draw some boundaries. There could be some difficult people around you. There could have even been people who tried to use scripture to actually justify their behaviour, which may not be quite Christ-like, shall we say. You know, some people will do that. They will, you know, could be called spiritual abuse, perhaps, you know, when somebody uses religion to actually abuse somebody, or to be unkind, to be cruel, and when they're very judgmental and they don't follow their own rules, but at the same time they say that you're wrong. So there could be an issue here with regards to religion in your life. Maybe there is something to look at there. Maybe there maybe you were hurt by somebody who should have taken care of you, who should have been kind, or maybe they just acted kind. There could be, it could be a parent, could be, you know, a boss, somebody that you've encountered at some point in your life. Obviously it'd be different for everybody, but it does feel like there was an imbalanced relationship where, and it could have been a narcissist that you were dealing with as well, because I've kind of got that narcissistic energy, so narcissist, psychopath, sociopath kind of energy, where somebody was not loving to you but made you feel bad about it, rather than you realising that it was them. So there could be some inner child work to do here. And again, with the inner child work, you could be drawn to pile 1, pile 2 as well. So let's see what else we have here. Quite interesting messages coming through. We have Bast. So we've got 2 Egyptian goddesses coming through now. We have Be Brave. I have shuffled these. And we have Angel Yvonne. Wow. Some very spiritual themes coming through here. So this is an angel card. This is actually from an angel deck. And this is about spirit animals. And then we have 2 goddesses here, 2 cat-headed goddesses. So we've got Bastet, who is a goddess of fertility. She is seen with a cat's head. And then Sekhmet, who is also represented with a lion's head, a lioness's head. Very powerful, very strong goddess. She's kind of a bit girl power. She's very powerful, very loving. Also no nonsense whatsoever, and that kind of comes in with the cat boundaries, the independence card here, and it says be brave. So it could be time for you to stand up for yourself right now. It could be time for you to stand up to an abuser, to leave a difficult situation, to draw that boundary once and for all, to say no, to draw that line in the sand, and to find that strength within. Or that may be something that you have already had to do in your life, but it seems like a very important theme, regardless of whether it's past, present, or even future. Maybe that's something that you haven't done yet, and that maybe you think about doing, or maybe it hadn't occurred to you, because very often if we are brought up being told that we have to bow to everybody else and that we're rubbish and worthless and everybody else gets to have things and we don't, it doesn't even necessarily occur to us to stand up and say, actually, I'm not okay with that. All right. So there is a question here. There is a question about your life. Are you being taken advantage of? You know, are you being allowed to be strong? Were you allowed to be strong? Were you allowed to be yourself? So there's definitely some things to ask yourself with this spread. Very, very interesting. Strong connection to Egypt here as well with these 2 cards coming through, these 2 Egyptian goddesses. Strong connection to Sirius coming through. That's been coming through quite a bit here. I mean, I shouldn't be surprised when I'm doing cat readings that a connection to Sirius comes through, really, should I? I really shouldn't be surprised. The starseed's probably laughing at me as you're watching this, aren't you? So, and there could be a starseed energy here for some of you. You may actually identify as starseeds, which is why we're looking at this one here. But certainly there's a very powerful mystical energy. You could have a strong connection to angels, or you may be an animal communicator, I want to say, somebody who can communicate. That might be a strong theme for you. It might be something you're very good at, maybe if you haven't tried it. Communicating with animals, you know, doing actual kind of like telepathy with animals on Earth, or communicating with animals who have passed over. I feel you could have a mediumship ability as well with Angel Yvonne showing up. Not just with animals, you know, we can talk to humans as well when we want to. I feel you may have a mediumship ability, which is the ability to talk to people who have passed over to the spirit world, to actually converse with them. So that comes through quite strongly. But with the independence and be brave, it does feel like there has been intimidation. There has been intimidation. I feel you've been intimidated into not being your true self, your full self. And I don't just mean that in the way that everybody has to conform in society and, you know, there are threats and you have to toe the line or whatever. Particularly at school, you know, we get indoctrinated into the government system and our stupid society and, anyway. I feel it was more than that. I feel like you may have been threatened, you know, maybe there was an abusive situation in your past, maybe there's trauma in your past, so maybe for you it's a really big deal to speak up for yourself, to voice who you really are, to be who you truly are. Maybe that's a very, very big ask for you. Maybe that's incredibly challenging indeed. So what else do we have here? Go for it. Wow, that's beautiful. Got these lovely lynx cats here and that little cat on the horse with her. So it does feel like you have a lot of support from the other realms. And it could be that you don't have very much support in real life. You know, you may literally not have the supportive friends, not have the supportive boss, the supportive family, the support network that you need, but you absolutely have them on the other side. You absolutely have them in the angelic realms, in the spirit realms, you know, family members who've passed over who love you, you know, even if they weren't very nice to you in life, they leave that behind them when they move to the other side, and they will be helping and supporting you now. Go for it. Let's just read this. Your prayers and positive expectations have been heard and answered. We've been working with you on this situation since its genesis, and we continue to watch over you and everyone involved. Stay on your present path, as it will take you very far indeed. Now that's quite an exciting message to come through. That's a very encouraging message of really good things to come, that you're absolutely supported by your angels, by the spirit realms, by your spirit animal guides as well. Very, very strong big cat theme coming through here as well, with Sekhmet, who is a lioness. We've got these lovely sort of lynxy type cats. I'm not exactly sure what they're supposed to be. We've got a lovely big lion on this card too. And then what was that? It was a big black jaguar here. Absolutely gorgeous, very spiritual cat, very deep cat. Very drawn to the moon on this card as well. So I want to talk about moon cycles. I do want to talk about magic and the occult as well. And occult just means hidden, although for some people it seems to be a dirty word, which is just silly. It's just ignorant to think that. There's nothing to be feared in what we don't know. It's just something to discover and something to uncover and learn how to work with and learn about. So spiritual study, a spiritual discovery, I think could be highlighted for you as well. So we're going to move on now to our tarot cards. We have the Tarot for Cat People, which was my first ever tarot deck. I've had this one a long time. So let's just take a look. See what we've got for you here. Oops, we've got one coming out there. All right. I want to talk. Ah, Three of Swords. So this could literally be a difficult situation in a relationship right now. And not necessarily a romantic relationship. It could be a family relationship. It could be that, you know, there is that difficult dynamic. It could be at work. A very, very difficult dynamic, something that just can't be resolved. Some heartache, something extremely painful and difficult. It's almost got the energy of handbags at dawn, you know, going on here. Wow. Very painful energy, very difficult. And the Page of Swords reversed as well. Like you don't feel like you can strike out on your own. You don't feel, you know you could, but you don't feel like that's for you. Like for some reason you're not allowed to, like you're being restrained or held back. And there's this little dark cat here trying to tell you that yes, you can do it. You absolutely can. Then you may have a special connection with cats and animals specifically, because we do have Yvonne here. I imagine you like cats because you're watching this reading, you know, you might not. People are weird. Some people don't like cats. I don't understand that at all. But there is a special connection with you, and it might be an actual special pet cat that has a connection with you, or pet cats along the way who've been very connected and very supportive to you. Maybe cats were the only friends you ever had. You know, I get that. Believe me, I relate to that one. Cats have always been there for me. The reason I'm actually wearing gloves today, not least because it's cold, is actually I'm covering some scratches on my hand. A cat actually scratched me yesterday. I look after cats for people when they go away. It's something I do. And this cat, she really got me good. So I had to hide those big red scratches on my hand. So I'm wearing these gloves so you can't see them, because it's not very attractive and I don't think anyone would want to look at my scars. But even so, I mean, even if she scratched me, she's a rescue. You know, she has her ways. I don't blame her. It wasn't her fault. She let me stroke her for the first time ever. I stroked her once and then twice. And then the third time, that was it. That was too much. And because she hasn't got a tail, it can be quite difficult to read her body language. But anyway, she's a sweet little girl. It wasn't her fault, but hence the gloves. A Page of Pentacles. So yeah, it might be time to hit the books. There could be some study for you to do. I really feel like I want something bigger for you in life. I want something better for you in life. And I think you're capable of it. And I think you might be playing small. Okay. And that I'm sure you have your reasons for that. But I want to send you in a new direction. I want you to learn, to grow. I wanted to say I want to teach you, but I'm not your teacher. I'll teach you some things, anything I can on the channel. But and my second channel, Angel Wings Holistics. But I want to say, like, there's so much for you to learn about the world, so much that maybe you weren't taught, maybe that you were taught wrong, about spirituality, about religion in particular. I'm very drawn to maybe things that were misrepresented to you, and about the world, because we've kind of got this pentacle on this stand that looks a little bit like a globe, like you would have at school. It has it on this stand, although it's normally tilted, obviously, for the world. But there's so much for you to understand and learn about the world in general. I think some things were really misrepresented to you. I said represented. That probably means something. They put words through my mouth because I channel these readings. They come through me, not from me, so I don't remember half of what I've said afterwards. Mess could have been a problem for you. Something messy, or messy emotions, or maybe you lived in a house as a child that was very messy, or that's something you struggle with being tidy. But there's things for you to learn here, and these lovely little supportive cats are here to see you through it. But I see you sitting here really enjoying learning, really taking your time, drinking it all in, drinking in this spiritual knowledge, this gorgeous, really interesting stuff. And I'm very drawn to the blue jewellery on this lady. I'm very drawn to lapis for you. The crystal lapis lazuli. I'm very drawn to that for you. That resonates very strongly with the third eye. I've got a bracelet of it as well. That's how I like to wear it sometimes. It's very powerful to work with the third eye chakra, which connects us to spirit, to our psychic ability. Very drawn to that for you. So if you have some, you might want to think about getting it out, carrying it, working with it, wearing it, or just see how you feel with that. Sit with that one, because I'm not here to tell you how to live your life, just to make suggestions. So see if lapis resonates for you. Okay, so we're going to pull some cards from Bedford's Oracle now, which is a little cat oracle that he helped me to put together. So I thought he was going to make an appearance earlier, but he hasn't so far. I've seen him out the window once today. Hide under the bed. Emotional support cat. Oh. What else do we have? We have Sekhmet. So we've got confirmation on Sekhmet there. That's the second time she's come out twice today. I think it was pile 2. We had Sekhmet come out twice. That's the second time she's done that. So very strong connection to Egypt, Egyptian gods, and particularly Sekhmet coming through for you. So that might be something to read up on, to study, or to connect with her energy through meditation, through prayer. Hide under the bed. Yeah, there is this impulse to hide under the bed. So that speaks to me of feeling a little bit fearful about life, or maybe lacking self-esteem, self-worth, being literally afraid of change of certain people. There's a lot of fear, and that could be inner child work to do. It could be very ancient. It could be, you know, karma, something you've brought through from a past life. So I want to say, stop hiding under the bed. You know, you might be a little bit agoraphobic. You might be somebody who doesn't like going out very much. You might have social anxiety. You might struggle with that sort of interaction. But I want to say that can change. You don't have to be the cat that hides under the bed when people come round. That can absolutely change, but you need some emotional support to get through that. There's nothing wrong with you. You just need a bit of support from the right people saying the right things. Emotional support cat. Wonderful. Lots of us say that about our cats. Oh, it's my emotional support cat. There's lots of memes about that, aren't there, these days? But there is emotional support coming through from spirit animals. I feel like you have a spirit cat with you. I feel very strongly. And of course, this is a group reading, so take this if it resonates. But I feel like you have a spirit cat with you. Maybe it's a cat that you used to own, or that you befriended, who's passed over. But I feel they're strongly very much with you, at least one. Okay, at least one. So you can accept that message if that resonates for you. So what we're going to do next, I'm going to bring my cat coaster in. These are all coasters, by the way. And we're going to do some charms. Okay, let's see what we've got here. See what messages we have for cat number 4. Let's see what we've got here. I'm going to try and get some different ones. Okay. We have a cat. Let's pop these back. We have an actual cat. I feel like that confirms the cat animal spirit thing. I feel like there's a cat spirit guide with you one way or another. That seems very important. So cats seem to be very important on your path specifically. What else have we got? We have a little rabbit. Seems to have his jukes up. Is he looking to have a fight? Yeah, ooh, that's quite reactionary energy there. So I do want to say, for some of you, there could be a message here about anger. Anger can be a defense mechanism that kicks in when we feel afraid or feel unsure, uncertain of ourselves. So there could be some anger to look at there, maybe in you, or maybe somebody around you who acts with anger when it's perhaps unnecessary. I'm also drawn to the saying mad as a March hare. So it could connect actually to March, to Easter, to Ostara, or to that season, to spring. We've got the lovely tree of life here making its second appearance. Yeah, beautiful. So there's a very mystical spiritual life for you. I feel a very rich spiritual life is available to you if you want it. But I want to go in kind of more of a Celtic direction. I want to go to the forest, to the woods. I want to go to that kind of nature-based belief system for you. So if that resonates, that's a message for you there as well. So we have this arrow. That's beautiful. The arrow is about your direction in life. Keep your eyes on the prize, pile 4, cat 4. Keep your eyes on the prize. Be clear about what it is that you want. Aim your arrow and go for it. Go for it. This can also, in numerology, the arrow represents number 1, because that's how we actually write a number 1, which is like that. And then the line at the bottom is the ground that it shoots out of. And number 1 is the first number that shoots out of the void. And it is represented by an arrow sometimes. So it does feel like number 1 in numerology, so new beginnings. Next we have an anchor. Now this is interesting. This is the first anchor we've had. All the other 3 reelings, fishings, connection to fishing. All right, let's put a pin in that for a second. All of the other readings so far had ship's wheels. All of them, 1, 2 and 3. But you've got an anchor here. So I feel like this is a much more stable energy. There could be a connection to actual shipping and fishing for you as well here. There's something to do with reel, whatever that word means to you, that came in. But reel as in R-E-E-L. So like a fishing reel, or reeling something in, I want to say. But that's quite a grounded energy. So it does feel like anchoring, grounding. So there could be some grounding work to do spiritually. You may need to be more grounded. You may need to anchor yourself, ground yourself. And there are various techniques to do that, so you don't end up flying off too much into the ether, and so you don't feel spaced out. And I always say to my students, because you know I do teach Reiki, I teach meditation, I teach psychic development as well. I say to my students, you've got to ground enough, otherwise you will end up with no milk in the fridge and no toilet paper in the bathroom. Or worse, you'll end up with toilet paper in the fridge and milk in the bathroom, and nobody wants that. That's just crazy. And I'm paraphrasing one of my spiritual teachers who used to say that. So, but grounding is important, so important to bring your energy back down to earth, to bring you, center you, anchor you in the now, bring you back to the real world after you've done spiritual work. So, or after you've had an upsetting experience, you may need to ground as well. You know, if you've been dissociating, you need to bring yourself back into your body, into your physical body. And lastly, we have this little bee, which I think is a sign of very good fortune here for you, cat number 4. Got this lovely little bee. I interpret it as a bee. You might see it as a wasp. But I want to say a bee, and I love bees because they're hard workers. They're very beautiful. All the worker bees are female. Are we surprised? But I want to make you queen bee of your life. I want to make you queen bee. So there could be a connection actually with apiculture. For some of you, with bees, could be a strong totem on your path, but I do feel like you will get your just rewards for all of the work that you've put in. I do feel like you will get the just rewards for the work that you've put in. So, I hope that was helpful, cat number 4. It's been an honour to tune in and do this reading for you. Please do remember to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it so that I know. Please do leave a comment if you'd like to join in the conversation. I do love to read your comments. Just remember to stay respectful. We are all human beings. Let's be nice to each other. You take very, very good care of yourself, and I will see you in the next reading. Bye-bye.